Good morning, everyone. Man, it feels like I haven't done one of these events in a very, very long time. And I apologize that the schedule is going to be a little bit shoddy for a couple of days as we get started with this thing. But hey, Eric, must be really early for me. I mean, kind of, but I've already readjusted my schedule to waking up around this time. I mean, I have been waking up now for the past couple of months because I've been working with my sponsor for the upcoming tournament who lives in India. And so it wasn't that difficult to wake up half an hour earlier to get here for this event. But yes, it is quite early where I live, but we're raring ready to go. I mean, it does complicate my life a little bit having woken up so early for all the lessons that I've been doing, because I've also been doing a bunch of stuff at night. Like my class last night goes until 9:30 p.m. and it is currently 4 a.m. for me. So it's a long day on Wednesdays. It's going to be a long day today. I'm actually teaching an improv class this evening. So I guess that's what's been going on with me. But what's been going on in the world of Bridge? Well, we have the World Bridge Series coming up, and hopefully we'll be getting started in about 30 minutes. I know it says bidden score, but usually this means we're going to have a couple of tables that we can watch. Hey, Puff and Basher, good morning to you. I believe you're UK, so it's still morning for you over there. But yes, I am going to be here, and I think every day for the event, I'll be doing at least the first segment. I posted on YouTube last night detailing my day for the first couple of days. So today, I'm really only going to be here for the first set. I'm super busy today. I have a number of meetings. I have a doctor's appointment that I'm going to have to take a look at. Oh no! Wait. Uh-oh. Is it really only bidden score? What about mixed? Maybe the mixed is being... Oh, that was a close one. I was gonna be so upset. But okay, we do have something to watch. So Team Edmonds is probably Jody Edmonds, and she normally has been hiring the Polish guys. So let's actually take a look at that match. Yeah, okay. There is something on BBO. Oh, okay, didn't know about that. I guess for today, let's just stick with Love Bridge. And again, apologies, I'm only going to be here for the first set today. Tomorrow, I think I'm doing 3 segments. I'm missing the second one. And then I think over the weekend, I'll be covering all 4 sets, but I have yet to confirm. It does depend on my sponsor's schedule for this upcoming tournament and whether or not she wants to get some practice in every morning. So let me decide if we want to watch 2 tables or 1. I probably also need to crop my webcam here because I have made some webcam adjustments. There we go. I know I'm still covering up the screen. Let me figure out what I want to do. Do I want to watch 2 tables or just 1? Let me first do this because I think the screen was a little bit glitched there. Oh, no, never mind. Hold on. Let's do that. Yeah, my entire Streamlabs has become messed up here, and I can't, it's hiding a bunch of things from me. Let's see, is this... Okay, that's the thing at the bottom of the screen. We don't need that. Sorry, give me a sec. We'll be with you in a minute. So I think this is a Swiss that they are starting out with. Oh, my microphone is turned way up. Let me turn that back down to the normal levels. Apologies if you have to adjust your volume after this. Okay, I think we'll probably end up watching one table. So let's check out maybe the non-sponsored table. I mean, unless people want to see our boy Joel. We'll head over here, Blue Room. So let's see. It is Edmonds, China 1. I would be excited to see some of these Chinese teams. I know that they've been performing quite well in a number of these big international events recently. I mean, obviously, like the partnership that ended up winning the Vanderbilt early this year, or maybe it was the Spin Gold last year that played with Rosenberg and Platnick, is a Chinese partnership. But I don't remember any of the names. But yeah, I think China has been showing off a bunch of new talent in the past few years. And currently it looks like Four Hearts is going to come home with no trouble. In fact, making all of the tricks. The Heart Finesse worked, the Diamond Finesse works. Singleton Club was a key piece of the puzzle here, but I think North-South are going to be content that they didn't end up at the 6th level on this one, needing 2 red suit finesses. I mean, it's probably not such bad slam. It depends on how likely you think you are to get a club lead. Because even on a diamond lead, you're kind of on one finesse. You could just hop up with the diamond ace and take the trump finesse, planning to pitch a club on the run of spades, knock out the king of diamonds later. Pass by east. And by south, I would assume west gets to open in 3rd seat. 3 hearts, probably going to be a pretty popular choice. But, I mean, we could also see 1 heart. Looks like some discussion, maybe, from the North-South partnership before this hand gets underway, although with East Pass on the table, maybe they shouldn't be talking. Now, I do know that a lot of the Chinese partnerships like to talk in Chinese when they're playing. And of course, that's going to be disallowed at these events. But my experience is that a lot of the Chinese partnerships who are disallowed to speak in Chinese do it anyway. So I wonder what the WBF's policy is on enforcing that. Like the ACBL has effectively no policy against this. And it would be very easy to cheat because very few people speak Chinese in the Western Hemisphere. But I have to imagine the WBF is more strict, and maybe the competitors will raise an alarm more likely, I guess, is an important thing to do to police the system. All right, 3 heart preempt, North comes in 3 spades, and South in a bit of a pickle. Whoa, South decides to just let 3 spades go. And this is going to be the wrong choice. I mean, obviously that queen third of hearts does not look great, but with the heart suit blocked, and I mean, a very fortunate club layout, but kind of doesn't matter on this hand, because even if East had the club king, the hearts would never get set up for extra tricks. I guess there's a little bit of complication here because if East wins this and switches to diamonds, the entry to the clubs gets knocked out. West plays the two of hearts. Not sure what their carding's going to be here. I guess I can probably try and pull up a convention card. It should be on the website. Let me just see if I can find convention cards. Eric, you had to listen to a lot of Italian yelling during tournaments. I mean, that's the thing too. And I think just because English is a relatively common spoken language among all participants worldwide, they enforce that. So I get the like American advantage that I don't have to learn a second language. But it is important that we can't just have people talking at the table and us not understanding them. So obviously. Okay. So who's this partnership? Z and Liao. Yeah, we get a spade switch from East. So Declare is going to be pretty happy about this development. I imagine the play is going to be to just pull trumps and lead the queen of clubs out of hand. And this will effectively guarantee the contract. Clubs 3-2, you make it. Clubs 4-1, even if West has like stiff king or if East has king fourth, you make it. So I think this is going to be the simplest. Oh, sorry, we're only in 3, so obviously Declare is just going to pull trumps. But I mean, even if we're playing 4 spades, the simplest plan is just pull trumps and lead the club queen. I mean, I guess you can go ace of clubs, queen of clubs. I'm not sure what the difference is between leading the queen on the first round. Maybe it just costs an overtrick against stiff king. But yeah, I mean, it is imps once again. Pitch some diamonds from South's hand. Okay, the website is completely worthless in terms of convention cards. Let me. Oh. Wait. Uh. Okay, I found the card. You have to search by team name, not by partnership name. Playing 2/1 for North South. Transfer responses to a club. Multi 2 diamonds. Yeah, see, Eric, I think this is the main reason for Chinese players speaking a lot of Chinese is that like they don't learn English. It's not the same as in Europe or well, English speaking countries where you learn English in school. It's that wait, how did Declare make 6? I must have missed. I wasn't paying attention to the line of play. I mean, whatever. It's a part score. They made 6. But in China, like the entire government effectively preaches that like they're the greatest country in the world, and so why would you learn a second language if your country is so awesome? And like to be fair, I think that the Chinese language and the heritage has an enormous amount of history behind it. So I can completely understand not wanting to diminish their own language in that way. But it does make it very complicated in these events if they either don't understand English or can't speak it well enough to communicate. Puffin Basher, Yoda Perry used to cheat in that way, and you ended up bringing a friend who spoke that language to get them barred. So, interesting note about Kurt, my friend, who has stepped away from the game for a little bit, but he'll be back, I'm sure. He speaks a bunch of languages, including Mandarin. And so we were at the US Nationals and we played against a number of Chinese pairs who were speaking Chinese, like in the middle of play. And so Kurt understood what they were saying, which was kind of interesting. One spade, one no, four spades from South. I wonder if North-South is a junior pair. Like, that would make sense to me based on a couple of the auctions I've seen. Because I don't think four spades is a great bid on the South cards. Like, sure, we have 8 tricks in our hand, but, as Eric says, maybe South could have tried for 3-no. I think 3-no is okay. 3-no effectively shows hands that are similar to this. It would be long running spades. Probably in the 8 trick range, and so wants to protect partner's lead or opening hand or partner's hand from the opening lead. But if you're not going to do that, I think the South hand is a very comfortable 3 spade bid because we're supposed to be responding to our partner's opening bid. I mean, not even just because we're favorable, but at most vulnerabilities with very little in our hand to try and steal the contract when it's actually the opponent's board. And so North could have a very similar hand type without the Heart King, with an extra club. And so 3 spades, I think, is more than enough. If North has 2 tricks in their hand for you, they're going to bump you from 3 spades to 4. Like, 3 spades shows a good hand, right? So 4 spades feels very junior-esque to me. It's like, I have to be in control. I have to be the one to bid game on every hand. Like, I'm trying to overbid on every board. It's imps. We got to get to our games, sort of thing. But you have a partner over there who's going to be able to make decisions as well. I don't know, between 3-no and 3 spades, what I like better. I think both are fine. I would probably lean towards 3 spades, but 3-no is a very reasonable try for sure. East taking the ace of clubs a little bit strange here. I mean, South has the heart ace, so it seems a lot more practical to try and prevent dummy from roughing a club. Like, imagine if South had the same hand, but 1 more diamond and 1 fewer heart, right? And like, based on this 4 spade bid, I imagine South would have bid 4 spades with that as well. So East could have just like played a spade, gotten in with a club ace, played another spade, and completely killed the dummy if South had a stiff ace of hearts. I think that would have been probably much stronger defense. It feels like the only way to beat the contract, and I think we're playing imps. Yeah, it does say imps on the scoreboard over here. Looks like Edmonds picked up 9 somewhere along the way. Yeah, East is now like deep in the tank about like, how am I going to beat this contract? But they already missed their opportunity. Fortunately for them, South didn't have the hand with the doubleton diamond stiff heart. Yeah, now a spade comes, but if South had that hand, ace of spades, ace of hearts, club rough, king of hearts, pitch a diamond, and the hand would be all over. South probably going to play this as what? Okay. Yeah, VuGraph operator error. I was like, low diamond. I mean, you could try exiting the king of diamonds if you're really worried about 6-0 hearts. That might be a safer way to return to your hand to pull trumps. Low diamond seems strange. But yeah, it looks like South is going to play this hand as like a show up squeeze against West. If West had the Diamond Ace and the Heart Queen, they would get squeezed here, but they don't. I mean, playing match points, you could think about taking the Heart Finesse at the end. Like, West is going to be dumping all of their diamonds. West is going to pitch the Club Queen. So I think it's very possible that that South could come to some sort of conclusion that West is trying to hold on to the protected Queen of Hearts. I don't know why West is holding on to the Club Queen for this long. East pitched a club. Yeah, plus 420. Ooh. So East West probably Polish clubbers. I didn't pull up their convention card, but I have North South, so I guess I can try and find East West. What's their team name? Edmonds. Oh no, I see Dinkin is here. They are Polish club. West not quite strong enough to open a strong club because in the Polish system it would be like 18 plus. West only has 16. A no trump by North. 16 count over there. 2 heart stoppers. I wonder what East is going to do. East tries 2 hearts. They do have 4 card support, but 4 triple 3, vulnerable. They bid no trump on your right. South comes in 2 spades. West does decide to make a game try, and they've tried 3 clubs. Maybe for them, that's going to be a help suit try. Probably more effective than a 3 diamond bid. Although either could work, right? Like if East had Queen 5th of diamonds, a 3 diamond bid would be pretty effective. Might be pretty effective. I guess it depends on what East club holding is as well. So maybe that's why 3 clubs is a little bit better. North bumps to 3 spades, 4 card spade support, despite having good defense against the heart contract. I'm surprised South let this go. It turns out to be the winning choice with the King of Spades offside. But you're 5-5, you have a void in the opponent's heart suit. I mean, you're pretty likely to get a heart lead, so that's probably good for you. Partner could have Ace Queen of Hearts or something to pitch a couple of clubs if the Ace of Clubs is offside. Just kind of feels like at imps maybe we should be gambling on partner having a better fitting hand, especially when they bump us to 3 spades in this sequence. But wow, West really in the tank here about whether to bid this heart game or not. And that's kind of tough. We could definitely come up with hands where 4 hearts might have decent play if East has nothing wasted in the spade suit. Unfortunately for West in this case, they're going to get massacred if they end up playing in 4 hearts. They'll lose a couple of clubs, a couple of hearts, the ace of spades. At that point, the king of spades might set up, but I wonder if it's even going to be too late then. Like, how do we get an entry to East's hand? We have to pull 3 rounds of trumps? good decision ultimately for West to just pass out 3 spades, not wanting to risk a huge penalty against the opponent's part score. So ace of diamonds lead. I think West is just going to cash the ace of clubs next. East knows that West has the diamond king, so even if East has like king doubleton of clubs and there is a club ruff coming, it can just go ace of clubs, club to the king, diamond over club. So ace of clubs feels like a pretty practical try. I'm guessing that West is just going to try and cash all of their side suit winners before exiting, and of course the ace of hearts is not going to cash. So let me take a look at a defensive signals. Looks like East-West are playing upside down. What? What's the 4 of diamonds then? Yeah. I mean, okay. So I would be nervous as East giving an encouraging signal here because it's going to sound like I have a doubleton. Now, I think West will probably work out that that's not what's going on, but that's kind of the danger of giving an encouraging signal. East gave an encouraging signal because they didn't want to switch. And so you only have like this binary piece of information you can convey when giving a signal to your partner. Like, do I like the lead? Do I not like the lead? Do I have an even number of cards? Do I have an odd number of cards in the suit? Well, that latter one is pretty easy to interpret because if you have an even versus odd number, very simple for you to tell the truth always, or lie if you want to do that instead. But this whole encouraging versus discouraging is a lot more murky sometimes. And so that's probably the reason why East decided to encourage. But the danger, of course, is that like it looks like we want partner to play another diamond and let us overruff the dummy. And I mean, that might almost work. Like if diamonds were 4-4-3-2 around with West having 4 diamonds and South having 4, another diamond if Declare gets nervous and roughs with like the queen of spades and then tries to get back to their hand, then another round of diamonds could possibly promote the 9 of spades. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, so West thought their partner did have a doubleton diamond. I mean, it would give South a 6-card diamond suit. Definitely possible. But I think South with 6-5 would probably have ended up accepting this game try. I mean, who knows? But yeah, I think South is going to be a little bit scared. Does ruff high. East is going to follow. But the rest of the hand is just going to be very simple and straightforward. Ace of spades, spade. And that's going to be all the tricks for the defense. So 3 spades making 3. Looks like a good result for North-South, but there is this little bit of a scare that could happen in the other room if East-West end up in 4 hearts, because that could get doubled and could get very messy. Yeah, West a bit surprised that the ace of hearts cashes, but there really weren't any other places for East-West to find tricks. So 3 spades making 3. How long are these sets? Are they, I think we saw 14 boards, is that correct? Let me just check. Yeah, 14 boards, and the players are given basically 2 hours, an hour and 55 minutes to play. North gets to open a heart. 13 count over there. So heart, probably take out double from East. I mean, it's not the perfect shape, but you do what you can. Can't be overcalling 2 diamonds on that hand. So a heart double, a spade from South, unless they're playing transfers over this, maybe redouble showing spades, if that's what they're doing. Or, I mean, maybe they're playing 2 hearts as a transfer to spades as well. Also a pretty popular thing. I'm not sure how popular that is in China, but definitely in Europe, we would see a lot of 2 heart bids on the South cards in sequences like this. Eric, you're wondering what percentage of the field overcalls 2 diamonds? I hope 0. I really hope 0%. Hey, Andy. Early start for me. Yes, it is. But I will be here through August 30th. How many days are in August? 31st. Doing at least the first set every day. And then TBD for the rest of the segments. Like today, just doing the first set. Unfortunately, too many meetings later today. So North able to show both of their suits comfortably, and importantly, denies a support double, because they could have made a support double over 2 clubs. So South now knows that they have like a maximum of 8 spades. And yeah, South actually just passes 2 diamonds for that reason. Doesn't want to rebid 2 spades. I mean, maybe at match points you do it, but you got to be worried about the takeout doubler having like a good 4-card spade suit over there. Your partner having a singleton or even a void. So I like this pass from South. West thinking about balancing 3 clubs. I think very reasonable to do so. It might depend on how aggressive your partner is in making their takeout doubles, or how off shape they could be. Like if East could be 4-2, 5-2, then I guess maybe you just pass out 2 diamonds. Okay, West lets it go. So we should see a trump lead from East. I don't think any other lead makes any sense on this hand. I guess it's a little bit worrisome leading a trump. Because if your partner has a trump, they only have a singleton on an auction like this. So you really want that trump to come through so that you can constantly be pulling trumps on this hand. But I think East is going to come to the realization that it's just going to be way too hard to get partner in. And so, yeah, East does lead a trump at trick 1. And this is going to work out pretty well for them, with West having the stiff queen. We should see a surrounding play in the club suit at some point from East. I mean, they don't have to switch to club 10, but I think they probably will when they get in with one of the high spades. King of clubs switch also would work out just fine. But I think the main point is East is just going to want to cut off that spade suit in South's hand. So like diamond around to the ace, ace of hearts, heart ruff, spade to the jack. East is going to get in, pull another trump, and then probably switch to the 10 of clubs. Would be my guess as to how this hand is going to play out. I mean, maybe North goes ace, king of hearts, and a heart ruff just to get their heart cashers in. There's the ace of hearts. So is Declare going to make this? They do just go ace of hearts, heart ruff. It feels like Declare might struggle to take too many more tricks other than their couple of diamonds and the club ace from here. I guess... I guess they'll probably end up getting the queen of spades eventually. Like, East is just gonna kind of get end played. But yeah, this is the line of play that I was expecting, and now King of Diamonds cashes, and are we going to see the 10 of clubs switch? There it is. Great play from East, pinning that 9. And yeah, Declare is in a little bit of trouble. I mean, down 2 is not the end of the world, if that's what it ends up being. Maybe they escape for down 1 if this queen of spades scores. All right, club goes to the jack and queen. West does just return a club, knocking out the ace. And great play by Declarer as well. Actually roughs the club. They shorten themselves in trumps. But the important point here is that East is now getting end played into giving access to that queen of spades, stripping out East club. So and he says, how you figure out to play the 10 of clubs there? Well, for one thing, your partner bid 2 clubs. So you're kind of thinking that your partner probably has the queen of clubs just from the auction, because it was a free bid. And then it's just all about working out what are the possible club layouts. And then if you've been familiar with what's called a surrounding play, then you'll realize that this is one of these situations where surrounding play might become useful. In this case, it kind of didn't matter because North had a doubleton club. But if West only had 4 of them, and West clubs were like queen, 8, 7, 4th, then you would need to switch to the 10 to kind of pin the 9 3rd in that case. That would be the only club you could switch to. Like the king of clubs switch, Declare would win the ace, and then the suit is frozen. You can't play it from either side. And if you lead a low club, of course, Declare would run it around to the 9 in their hand. So look up surrounding play if you're not familiar. I think that is a thing that would be out there on the internet somewhere for bridge. But then it's all about just once you're familiar with that concept, working out that this is a situation where it might apply. Pass by East. South picks up a 15 count. They are playing strong no trumps, so 15 to 17 here. I think. I don't have their card pulled up anymore. Or do I? Maybe it's just in a different window. Nope, I don't. So 1 no from South. North with 10. Pretty likely to just see a transfer followed by 3 no. I wonder if South is going to have a way to super accept. Because some pairs will use super accept with any 4 cards support in spots like this. And so they'll have like multiple ways to super accept, and one of them would effectively just show 4 card support with like minimum values, but like a suitable fitting minimum with 4 trumps. And I think South kind of has that here. Doubleton club, nothing wasted there. Ace, king, queen, 4th of spades is a good side suit. The jack 10, 9 of hearts, so good trump spots. And the ace of diamonds, so good controls overall. But yeah, South just bid 2 hearts. And this looks like it is going to take 10 tricks. I mean, there's 2 clubs to lose, there is a trump to lose, but whatever declare decides to do in the trump suit is going to work unless they do something very weird. I think the two main plans on hands like this are you could take two trump finesses. So you could run the jack of hearts and then run the 10 of hearts. That's going to work in this case. One of the two honors is on side. Or you could just play ace of hearts and heart, and that'll pick up a singleton honor in either hand. The fact that all the heart honors are in south and north is lacking the 8 of hearts, I do believe makes both lines of play equivalent in this case. Because ace and a heart loses to 3-1 hearts if the singleton is small. Whereas running the jack picks that up. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's not equivalent. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm pretty sure running the jack, running the 10 is just going to be the normal thing to do. Taking the finesse and then playing for the drop is not going to work, Eric. Yeah, that's true. Would not work out on this hand. So West definitely just going to continue another club. No reason to switch suits now. Especially with East encouraging, once again. I'll lead the jack and have West cover. I don't think anyone's fallen for that, but good thought. Always cover an honor with an honor, they say. What? Hold on, I need to back up. We're playing upside down again. East played high-low this time? Is East playing standard? I think what's going on is East is playing standard carding. Well, that's one way to play the heart suit. I mean, like I said, you could play a heart to the ace and a heart back. That's possible. All right, heart back, claim the rest. Easy game. I mean, if East thinks they're playing standard carding, that would completely explain the carding choices on the couple of hands that we've seen. I think it would be a weird miscommunication between the partnerships at this point in the game, but I guess it's possible. South, the only one without anything to say in this auction. West gets to open a heart. North, 2 hearts, 1 spade, some spade preempt, lots of options on the north hand. North does decide to try 1 spade, and so East is going to have an easy time showing their diamond suit. Eric, that sounds like a really unfortunate time to have the conversation after you've had a slam mix-up rather than before. But yeah, I think this is probably an important reason why, like, even in the middle of the set, if you and your partner, well, at least if there are breaks, right? Like, if there was something that your partner did that you don't like or that you seems weird to you, you should always ask, like, be respectful about it. Hopefully, I know most bridge players aren't, but try and bring it up in like some sort of reasonable way. But yeah, ask, because sometimes you're just like having a miscommunication about something that you thought was very clear and basic in the system. So 3 hearts from West. maybe a little bit aggressive, but does have a 7-card heart suit, although it's a little bit weak. North jumps to 4 spades finally, having heard their partner show a little bit of support. Although South didn't make a 2-heart limit raise, so South doesn't have like a maximum, just like 3 trumps and some stuff over here. And East cracks 4 spades with the spade trick. Should be leading the diamond ace here. I mean, with a natural trump trick, yes, it would be nice if we could go like heart to the ace, heart ruff, get back to partner's hand, and then get a trump promotion in hearts. But I think to start with, let's just lay down the diamond ace, right? That makes sense to me. See what dummy looks like, see if our partner might have a singleton over there. So ace of diamonds cashes. Probably just a low diamond. That would be my guess, but maybe East is going to try the diamond king. I mean, that would be... Okay, East switches to a heart. Again, I'm not really sure the point about switching to hearts here. We aren't getting a promotion. I mean, and if we do, we're not getting 2 promotions, I guess I should say. So there's no way for us to take 2 trump tricks on this hand. So heart up with the ace. If Declare really wants to maximize their tricks, they need to lead a club to the 10 right now. It's definitely a scary thing to do, but I think the main point here is that East is likely to be short in clubs. So if we play a club to the 10 and it loses to the jack and it goes club to the ace club ruff, it's probably with a natural. Ooh, but Declare does not. Declare chooses not to try and make their contract. That seems like a bit of a blunder to me. Wow. So Declare just very comfortable going down 1. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, that's a reason to play that hard at trick 2, force Declare to make their decision immediately. Feels wrong to go down an extra doubled vulnerable. Well, that was going to be my point, is that like if we play a club to the 10 and it loses and it goes club to the ace club ruff, East is getting that ruff with a natural trump trick. So it's not like we lose an extra trick. I mean, we do lose making the contract when East has exactly jack doubleton of clubs, but isn't it better to still play West for the jack of clubs? Or I don't know. Like West opened the bidding. So this feels like a huge opportunity for Edmonds to pick up a big swing. I do expect that Joel in the other... I think Joel's sitting north, right? I do expect that Joel in the other room is going to get to 4 spades on the north cards. Pass by West. North gets to open a heart, I would imagine. Not really the hand to preempt. Yeah, exactly, Eric. That's kind of my point, that it's kind of impossible for us to really lose a trick if we play a club to the 10 and it loses. We only lose a trick if we're going to pick off jack doubleton of clubs, but obviously that's anti-percentage to play for that, as opposed to just taking the club finesse. 1 heart opening from north. East comes in with 2 clubs. Doesn't tend to be my favorite thing to do, overcalling 5-card suits. I absolutely understand doing it on this hand with 15, past hand partner, and a pretty good club suit, ace, queen, jack. Gets a lead direct in, if nothing else. South bids 2-no. I have no idea what 2-no is. Okay, you know, I have an idea. It didn't get it does finally get alerted. There we go. It's just a Jacoby 2-no trump. Okay, I'm back on board. We figured it out. So 2-0 is the limit raise with 4 trumps. And West preempts 4 clubs. It goes 4 hearts. Pass, pass. West lets it go. If this is what West wanted to do, I like this 4 club bid. I think I've mentioned it before that I think of these like 4 of a minor preamps as basically an invitation to sacrifice. Like, you have some interest in saving 5 of a minor over the opponent's 4 of a major, but you want to pull your partner into the decision-making process on the hand. And so I don't know if that's the best decision on this hand. I mean, maybe West should just blast 5 clubs and hope for the best. But that is something I like to do on these types of hands, is to use this 4 of a minor as like a way to consult partner on whether or not you think we should be preempting. What do I think of 2 clubs? Is the suit good enough? I think a lot of the choice is... So if our partner was an unpassed hand, I think I would like it a lot less. But with partner being a passed hand, no one vulnerable, it could be very important for us to direct the lead. It could be important for us to preempt the auction a little bit if the opponents happen to have a spade fit instead of a heart fit. I mean, I know East is 2-2 in the majors, and the opponents are more likely to have a heart fit given a heart was open on our right, but 2 clubs has that sort of preemptive value. And East does have a 15 count, which matters, right? Like, you wouldn't be doing this on like ace, queen, jack, fifth and like a 10 count over there. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe some people would, but with 15, you know, like the more values you have, the better it is to overcall on a weaker suit, because like the rest of your hand makes up for it. So the Chinese player overcalled 2 diamonds on board 5. No, don't tell me that. It's too early in the morning for me to be hearing nonsense like this. Seems that 4 hearts is going to make... I mean, how was 5 clubs? It looks like there's only 3 losers in a club contract, right? The diamond finesse is working, so just 2 spades and a heart to lose, which means 5 clubs could have been a cheap save. I mean, another thing I wonder from a lot of the Chinese partnerships is like how familiar they are with just like playing in these big competitions, because, okay, North does finally claim here, but if you're familiar with playing in a lot of these like bigger international events, like after everyone follows to the ace of hearts, you basically just face your hand and are like, where's the diamond ace, right? You ask the opponents, and it could be a bit of a language barrier thing as well, so that they're going to play it out until they know exactly how many tricks they're taking. But that's a relatively common thing to do. Couple passes go around to south. Opens a spade. And yeah, I mean, so West passes. I think a lot of players would be so tempted to overcall 2 hearts. They would look at their hand and be like, I have to bid this ace, king, queen, sixth. I mean, I don't know what I would do on the West hand. I think the choices are between pass and double, though, a takeout double. So the fact that East is a passed hand makes it a lot less likely from West's perspective that they have a game, just a flat 12 with a doubleton spade. So I can understand just deciding to go quietly here. One spade, 2 spades. South makes a game try with 3 diamonds, and North rejects. Weak trumps. No real diamond help. I mean, small doubleton is nice. But it does seem like North-South have not found the top spot once again. They're... You know, we saw that hand earlier where South picked up the 7 solid spades and the ace of hearts and just blasted 4 spades when partner responded to their opening bid. And here, North-South have showed a little bit more restraint. But again, they've gotten to a contract where effectively they're 50-50 to make game. They're on a finesse in the trump suit here. And okay, I mean, it's non-vulnerable. Not going to cost a huge chunk of imps. when we look at the grand scheme of things in terms of expected value. But maybe over 3 diamonds. Again, I don't know what 3 diamonds is, if this is a help suit try or if it's like a long suit try or whatever sort of game tries they're playing. If it's help suit, the thing that I tend to like doing is I really only focus on the suit that partner's looking for help. And okay, this hand's definitely borderline. Doubleton diamond. Like if North had a singleton diamond, they probably bit game because partner's looking for diamond help and you have it. You have the singleton. But I think we tend to just focus too much on our high card count for a lot of these game tries, and that's really not what makes these games magically work at Imps. The things that make the games magically work are your partners hoping that you have something that works for them in the suit that they're asking about. And if you do, great, maybe we're working with a 30-point deck, which is kind of what's happening here. All right, 3 spades is going to make 4. And so we'll see a claim. There are 3 players from the first 20 matches who ever called 2 diamonds on that earlier board. That is insane to me. This is like one of those problems from the Real Bridge bidding panel where I'm like, we better have a unanimous vote. And then the panel is split between like 7 options. Hey, Polish club, a 19 count here from East. But South jams the auction immediately. 2 spades. And I guess it's time for me to learn about the Polish club system. What is West supposed to do with this hand over 2 spades? Apparently pass. I think 3 spades is an awful bid on the North cards, but I do suspect a lot of players are just going to be drawn to making it. And North does bid 3 spades. I don't like it because I think that so South's 2 spade bid could be somewhat wide ranging as opposed to just a normal preempt. And if the opponents do have values, what might end up happening is like they just double and end up defending 3 spades doubled. And from North's perspective, that kind of looks bad, is my thinking on it. Because North has probably a heart loser, a couple diamond losers, maybe a couple of club losers. And you do have an ace, so it's possible that the opponents aren't actually making their game if they have the values for it. But East-West get to 4 hearts. West finally comes to life after the takeout double. So this looks like it's just going to be 10 tricks, right? A spade and a heart to come for North-South. I mean, I guess technically after this spade lead, we could like cross and diamonds, take a club finesse. But yeah. Eric says is 3 spades too much from South at these colors. I think the spade suit's a little bit weak. Ace Jack 9-8 6th. Like Ace Jack 10 9 6th, then I would be a little bit happier about it. It's so different versus Polish club than it is against like a precision club. Because against a precision club, I think there's a lot more going for 3 spades on the South cards than there is against a Polish club. Because we don't know that East has a strong hand yet. But one of the big advantages to Polish club. I mean, also we could call it a weakness in some of these auctions, but yeah, the fact that the opponents don't know if you have a strong hand means that they should be a little bit more timid in their preempts. Eric from YouTube says, I think generally responder to Polish club assumes partner has a weak no trump and hopes they can find a call if they don't. Um, got it. Because to me, from like a 2/1 perspective, when partner opens a club with that hand, I would be making a negative double as West because I have this heart suit. Um, and that's kind of the only way for me to express that I have some values in that auction. So even if partner had a weak no trump, I would have been tempted to make a negative double. But maybe the point is in Polish club, we just like make that sacrifice, but at least it makes it easier on our partner in some ways if they have the strong hand, because then our partner is going to be the one that always tries to act, take out double, bid their own suit or something, and then we can back into four hearts later. That makes sense, like as a general philosophy. I don't know if that's actually the rationale there for West, but hey, Kathy, 7 p.m. in Australia. This is great to watch live. I'm glad to have you here with us. I know that I usually don't stream at Australia friendly times, but fortunately, this event's being played in Poland right now. So get a little bit of both worlds. Two clubs by East, some sort of Stayman-esque type bid, two diamonds, no major. Two spades is going to show a like a weakish invite with five spades. Actually, maybe this just shows all invites with five spades. If you're playing transfers over transfers, so had the auction gone one no trump, two hearts transfer to spades, two no trump, that probably shows clubs and spades for East West. And therefore, this is East's only way to show an invite with spades, is to go through Stayman. Hey, no worries, Eric. I'm glad that you're telling me a little bit of information that you know about Polish club, because I am not an expert either on the Polish club system. King of Hearts lead. So a lot of this hand is going to work out very well for Declare. The one thing that won't is the 5-1 trump split. But it looks like just based on pure power in aces and kings, Declare might be able to get up to 8 tricks. Like they have two diamonds, they have at least one club. And after the third round of hearts gets roughed, I don't know if it will. I mean, maybe North actually switches to their stiff club here to try and... Nope, they do play a third heart. So Declare roughs. Yeah, Queen of Clubs comes. South ducks. Kind of interesting. But the Queen of Clubs holds. I think we just play another club now. Declare can afford to lose two spades. Ooh, Declare starts on the trump suit. If they play a spade to the jack, are they in some danger? No, I guess not. But they play a spade to the ace. So are they in danger now? I mean, South is going to show out, probably pitch a diamond. And now Declare can switch back to clubs. I think the don't know why South pitched the Heart Queen, but yeah, now it's time to work back on the club suit. But I think North is only going to score 3 more trumps from here, is all that's going to happen. Like 9 of clubs, North can rough, pull a round of trumps, force Declare with a heart. But then Declare is going to be able to take another club finesse and pitch their diamond loser. Hey, Denise. Glad to have you with us. The 3 of clubs? Why didn't we play the 9? Okay. It was just a misclick from VuGraph Operator. Very good. Yeah, so it looks like maybe East had this under control all along. Spade to the ace, and I mean, it kind of looks like East played a spade to the ace and then started thinking you should probably do that before you pull that second round of trumps, just in case this happens. But I think East had this under control from the start. I am surprised that we didn't have any more imps scored. I thought there was that 4 spade contract that got doubled here that I would have expected to make in the other room. So not too many imps having been swung ever since a couple of those big swings early on. Hey, Civilian, how long is the event? It runs through September 3rd, I believe, is the last day. So a couple of weeks. Other table might be slow. Yeah, I think the other table will be a little bit slow. But I guess we can head over there at the end of play here. Am I covering a lot of it? Yes, I'm going to be covering as much as I possibly can, which today is going to be very little. But coming days, we should be able to do quite a bit. I have a couple of sponsored segments during the breaks over this weekend that I'm going to be running with. So lots of coverage to look forward to. Thank you, Doc. The other table had a director call. It took a while. I understand. A heart, 2 club overcall from East. Partner passed hand again. 4 club splinter from South. I think pretty important to have a specific definition of these splinters, whether you define it in terms of like high card counts, like 9 to 11, 10 to 13, whatever range it is that you want, or maybe just in terms of like losers / controls or something like that, because otherwise it's going to be hard for partner to evaluate their slam potential. Here, North does have a pretty poor hand when it comes to slam. I mean, the doubleton club is kind of nice. It means that South is very likely to be fitting the diamond suit, and any diamond hooks that you need to take are probably winning. But just 11, wasted jack of clubs. Ace of clubs cashes, and this is probably going to be, I would imagine 11 tricks, but it might not be the 11 tricks that you think it's going to be. I think what's going to happen is, well, yeah, so diamond switch comes. Let me think about this. I mean, if this is a singleton diamond, we actually have some work to do, right? I think Declare is going to play pretty quickly to this next trick, but I believe there's a lot to think about here. Yeah, Declare just cashes the ace of hearts immediately. I mean, certainly the percentage play in the heart suit would be to take the finesse, given the 2 club overcall. And no club raise from West, right? Because West may well have bumped to 5 clubs if they had decent club support. Jeffrey says, talking about sponsored bridge tricks got some interesting new features. So they're one of the ones that I'm going to be showing off. I know I did a little bit of messing around with it on stream because I just thought it was super cool. So I wanted to check it out before doing the sponsored segment. But we'll be taking a look at that, and then a segment that I'll be presenting some cool new teacher tools. I know Bridge Champ also did a little bit of a showcase for that sort of stuff. They had a presentation yesterday. I don't know if anyone went. And they've made a post on Bridge Winners about it. Yeah, see, this is a big decision. I haven't spent any time talking about this big decision. Now, Declare gets it, we'll call it right, but I think there was a serious opportunity here for Declare to strip East's hand and guarantee that they made the contract by instead of well, actually, I guess Declare didn't have a fast entry to North's hand. I was thinking if Declare could rough the club and then just cash a bunch of diamonds to strip East diamonds, East would effectively be end played. But yeah, there wasn't any way to get back to North's hand. Okay, I take it all back. Maybe just Ace King of Hearts is the best way to go about it. Interesting. 11 tricks? I mean, it seems very simple. Trump split, right? Diamond split. But this hand could have had some problems for North. Whoa! That is a hand. Oh my. Well, this is going to be an exciting one. One spade. So first question, is East going to overcall two hearts? They do. Oh no, the meme is true. This is the problem with having 7-6. Because if people say their suit lengths in the reverse order, then it becomes a meme. Double from South over two hearts. I wonder what double is. Double, very interesting from South. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the double. So I've said this a number of times, and I'll reiterate that when you have, okay, North tries 6 diamonds. When you have 12 or more cards and 2 suits, you kind of just pick something and anything could work on any given hand. And even if you have experience with some of these hands, I don't think that anyone will ever have enough experience with these very shapely hands that they'll know for certain what is going to frequently work in these types of auctions. So in reality, over the course of your lifetime playing bridge, even if you play as much as Mexstroth or whoever else out there you think plays an enormous amount of bridge, Zia, you're probably not going to have enough of a read on what actually is going to work out. So I think South made a huge blunder here, not bumping 6 diamonds to 7. Like, if partner can blast 6 diamonds and you have the ace king of trumps, what do you think they're hoping you have in your hand, right? Like, it's gotta be the ace king of trumps, and they're not playing you for both of those cards. So yeah, I think South probably is going to regret this. Hey, Matt, welcome back. Eric says, think 5 diamonds is enough on the north hand. Is there a risk that partner will raise to 6 diamonds with just 1 diamond honor? I don't know. I mean, you know, again, it's very possible that North-South is a junior partnership. I don't know these players. Maybe I can look them up and we can find out. Hmm. Puffin Basher says North didn't open two clubs, wouldn't read them for two losers. Well, I don't. I'm not sure that's the point on that hand. I'd be curious to see what happens in the other room, albeit we are going to be seeing a pro sponsor bid the North South cards. So I think we may see a very similar auction, in fact. But I would be curious to see that hand bid among a couple of experts. Matt says, "Isn't it illegal to open that two clubs?" I don't know the policies in the WBF. In the ACBL, it actually might be in the ACBL. I think you're not allowed to open two clubs with fewer than 14 high card points. But either way, I think two clubs is a terrible bid on these two suited hands. One spade, definitely a lot better. And partners should just understand that when you're very distributional, you're not opening two clubs. Last board at this table, East opens a strong no trump, 16 count. West with 11. Just trying to decide whether or not to go through Stamen to show 4-card heart suit or whether to go through a transfer showing 5. Weak heart suit. Values outside might judge that this hand could just play better in no trump rather than a 5-3 heart fit. I mean, I tend to be a fan of just going through Stamen on any of these hands where I have 5-card heart suit. My experience is that that usually works out just fine. We have another surrounding play opportunity. South could switch to the 9 of diamonds, by the way, if we're counting surrounding plays. Matt says Klukowski is on West's team, so he's just considering 3 now. Meh. I mean, is Klukowski on the team? Who's he playing with? Is he playing with Zmuda? I would imagine. So West does transfer and bid 3 now. East is going to happily accept the transfer and bid 4 hearts here. Puffin Basher asks, why would it be illegal to open two clubs with a very weak hand? I mean, I think that's the point, is that you can then use two clubs as a destructive opening bid if you just have a very distributional hand. So, like, a hand such as, for example, like, let's say you define two clubs as any hand that's within one trick of game. Then a hand like Queen Jack 10 8th of spades and Queen Jack 10 5th of a side suit is a 2 club opener. That's a 6 count. And so it is effectively unfair to the opponents to play a convention like this, where it could be just like a balanced 25 count, or you have some sort of preempt that just has a ton of distribution. So that's the reason why it's written up that there is some sort of minimum. And I think in the US, the minimum is 14 high card points or more, which again seems kind of ridiculous. But I also think it's a great way to prevent players from making bad bids, like opening two clubs on two suitors. If you open two clubs on a two suitor, you never show your suits. And it's so bad. What ends up happening is your partner always doubles the opponents in 4 of a major, and then you have no idea what to do over that. Club opening lead. South deciding to go after a club rough. I mean, makes sense. Ace 4th of trumps, maybe just hoping that that their eight of hearts could come into play. Puffin Basher, you say that it could just be written off as a psych. I mean, there does tend to be a rule against psyching strong artificial bids. And so that is basically the overarching theme here, is that psyching a strong artificial bid just it's worse than a generic psych is, I think, the main problem. Only in the US? Okay, I see. But yeah, I mean, like, to me, that rule makes a lot of sense. Because then you're opening the door for people to effectively just psych the opening, even if they don't have a strong hand. And that just kind of randomizes auctions more so than normal psychs do. So this hand's actually quite a bit more interesting than it might first appear. Declare winning the opening club lead and then just worked on pulling trumps immediately. I think there was definitely a case to be made for taking a spade finesse at trick 2. Because even if it loses and the opponent's cash a club, for example, you still have an extra spade trick to pitch a diamond loser. So you're kind of trading a loser for a loser by taking a spade finesse in this way. And then South, I would say, made the mistake of hopping up with the ace of hearts on the first round of the suit, because if they had ducked a couple of rounds, then they actually could have gotten a club ruff. Whereas here, Declare was able to rough in high on the third round of the suit. North pitched a spade earlier, which is going to make Declare's life a lot easier. Now Declare can definitely just go pull the last trump, pitch a diamond, spade to the king, spade ruff, and the 10 of spades will set up for an 11th trick. But hey, China's on the board. China picks up 8 imps. So this match getting a little bit closer. Oh. Declare, I guess, tried a spade finesse. Seems a little bit weird that South would lead a doubleton 10 of clubs instead of a small doubleton spade, but okay, fair enough. 420, let's head to the other room. How do I get there on Love Bridge? Here we go. Oh, we can see a brief overview. Oh my god, there's so many teams playing. So many teams. Actually, there are 2 buys. That seems like a really... Wait. Oh, maybe there's only 1 buy. And for whatever reason, we have team 101 and 102. But here's a giant overview of the event. Oh, we have some VooGraph commentary. Some missing alerts and or wrong explanations. TD was called to the table. I guess this might have been a very old message. Yeah, that's totally fair, Puffin Basher, that outside the US, people are a lot more free to do what they want. And that's probably a good thing overall for the game of bridge. Like, I think the ACBL does have far too many rules and regulations about what is and is not okay. Oh, hey, you look at this. This is exactly what I was talking about. See? We had someone making the ill-fated 2-heart overcall, and their side blasted into game, and now they've gotten horribly punished, doubled. And by the way, there's still a trump trick coming for North-South. So this is 800 out of nowhere on this board when the other table didn't even reach game. So this is going to be a ton of imps coming back the way of Edmonds. I mean, there's so many players that just feel this compulsion to overcall these 5-card suits, especially vulnerable. And like, I don't know what to say about it. I feel like I'm preaching to no one about this sort of stuff, but these sequences just happen all the time. And there's even a bigger issue at large here, which is that, okay, East thought they had a really good hand, right? East was a passed hand. They picked up 3-card trump support, a 9 count, a good 5-card diamond suit, lots of controls. I think there were ace, queen, and a king on the outside. And they tried raising partners vulnerable overcall. They bid to 4 hearts. Yeah, I mean, East has some sort of hand. Okay, the king of spades is not a great value. I get that. So maybe we could say East is at fault for the final 4 heart bid. That's not an ideal call, having already bid 2 spades. But a bigger issue is that, like, when 2 hearts becomes such a wide range, because you also have to overcall 2 hearts if you have like a 17 count with a 6-card heart suit. You can't just double with that. You're going to get the auction preempted away from you when they open a major on your right. So it's, if the range becomes this wide, your partner effectively just like can't bid opposite it. So like you overcall and you end up missing games because your partner is afraid you're going to have one of these generic like 5-card trump suits with just a 5-3-3-2 12 count. So Matt says the other Love Bridge table overcalled 2 hearts on board 9 and went for 1,703 now. I don't even know what that means. What do you mean went for 1,703 now? That's not even a possible final result. I don't believe you. I think you're just typing random numbers in the chat. There's no way someone went for 1,703 now on that. It's fine. It's fine. Dude, I swear it is. There's no, he's not wrong. No, what do you mean 3-no doubled down 7? How is it possible to only take 2 tricks? There's no way you take only 2 tricks, right? 6 spades and 4 clubs? Oh, down 6? 6 spades and 4 clubs. There's what event are we watching? Oh, we're watching the mixed. Okay, I'll give them a pass, a little bit of a pass. Jeez. That's crazy. Yeah, Puff and Basher, that's correct. Forcing pass is not okay. Uh-oh. Joel's upset. Don't make Joel upset. We don't want Joel to be upset. If I'm hearing correctly, this is like the 3rd TD call. I mean, look, if you're the pro playing with a sponsor, it is your responsibility to protect your sponsor from everything that's going on at the table. And it looks better for you to fight for them at every opportunity. So sometimes this could be a little bit of posturing by the pro player where they're like, hey, I just want to make sure that everything's okay here. And you end up calling the director more often than not. And your sponsor's going to love you for it. Joel's been a real bulldog. Well, good for him. Hopefully Jody appreciates it. Seems like dumb behavior. Well, I mean, look, I think this is just the way of like sponsored bridge or how the economy works for bridge, because sponsors don't understand or tend to not understand enough about the rules to be able to protect themselves. And they also generally don't understand enough about like what's going on the actual hand to be able to know that something unusual has happened. So you need to be watching like a hawk if you're the pro player for anything strange that's going on. And so it can be over the top a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with just like checking in on the director. And especially if the opponents have been complete assholes to you the entire set, which, like, I don't know if that's what's going on. Maybe it's not, but I think it's very possible. And for some of these less familiar partnerships on the world stage, then, they might not be familiar with a lot of like the laws and customs of the WBF. And so it could be the case that like East-West are just constantly violating some things. And I mean, like, that would annoy me as a pro player if my opponents were showing up and just like East-West were touching the tray all the time. Stuff like that. If East-West were like frequently talking, like either to each other, or like just during the auction, like if they start explaining their bids verbally rather than writing them down, all of these things would like get on my nerves a little bit. So I think it's completely fair and valid to just call the director if the opponents are doing that. They're bidding on tablets, so no tray. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, look, it seems excessive, but like, I don't know what's going on at the table. This would be a lot different if we had like a video cam of like what was happening, where we could see what the players are doing at the table. But I could easily believe that like this is not on Joel, that he's not bullying. He's just really like annoyed that the opponents are violating rules left and right. I could see that. I mean, Joel is somewhat of a nice guy, but he is a bit of a shark when it comes to actually playing in these events. You'd pay to see a boxing match afterwards? Joel's pretty large. I don't know how tall East-West are, but okay. There was a TD call. Players are experiencing some technical difficulties. Oh, yeah. Demetrius, the head director in Europe. Gotcha. Yeah, so that also makes a lot of sense. I mean, I would find it a little bit unusual if like multiple times during the play, the opponents were doing something that I just like completely hated and had to call the director back every single card that was played. But yeah, Muppet, I think what they do is they use the Lovebridge tablets to do the bidding, which I've never used, so I don't actually know if I'm going to be using that when I get over to my tournament in India in a couple of weeks. Probably not, is my guess. We're probably just playing with actual cards and bidding boxes. But then after bidding on the tablets, they'll use cards to play the deal out, and there'll be a VuGraph operator that transcribes the play. Yeah, I guess like zero tolerance type stuff could get the TD called multiple times in the same hand. You know, if you're just like yelling at your opponents in the middle of play, like all the time, then you could call the TD over a couple of times. Eric says that they've noticed a lot of bullying in Bridge by experienced players against less experienced ones. So let me fight back on this a little bit, because I don't think it's good to bully someone, obviously. And maybe depending on the level of competition, I can understand giving people a pass. You know, like if I go to my local club and the opponents are just like constantly doing the like unauthorized information type cheating, like I don't care. But in terms of the understanding of the entire Bridge community, I think it is important for people to understand a lot of the rules regarding unauthorized information, communication, what is acceptable at a table and what's not acceptable in terms of a lot of these facets of the game. And so doing things in a way that I guess could be construed or perceived as bullying, but is mostly just like aggressively alerting people to proper behavior at the table, I think is perfectly fine if you're a more experienced person trying to educate someone on these things, even if you do it in a fairly like aggressive and, maybe over the top way. Okay, this is an interesting hand. Let me finish my point. But West decides to try two no trump instead of letting their partner play two spades like we saw in the other room. Same start to the auction though. So I think it's really important because like at some point people need to learn this if they're going to be playing in these bigger competitions. Like it's great to have more people get exposure on the world stage, but we need to be very strict about following the rules as opposed to what people might experience in their local club games. So I'm not condoning bullying, but the behavior that you're referring to, YouTube Eric, we have too many Erics, is, I think, okay from experienced players on a whole. Like, yes, don't like just start yelling at people. But if you're like, you can't do that, and you start calling the director like every single board, I personally think that's okay. Like if people are actually violating the rules and I call the director on them every board, I think that's okay on my part. I don't like doing it, but I'm going to because like they need to learn and they need to fix their attitude if they're going to play in this event. That's just my opinion though. Eric, that's really funny that after Tank passed, someone yelled and said, "Hey, your partner can't bid now," which is of course not the rule, but might be viewed that way. That's funny, Muppet. So only if you were deemed worthy did you get a rules explanation, which might feel backwards to some people. But yeah, I think it is very important for people to actually learn a lot of these basic things, and then you'll pick up some of the other stuff as you play more and gain more experience. But certainly, like a bunch of the UI stuff, really important to get that down pat, because otherwise we're just going to have all of these like cheating allegations against everyone at these big competitions, and we don't want that. So East West almost did better in this room than at the other table. They played no trump, which technically is a making game contract with the spades splitting and that stiff 10 of clubs dropping. So diamond comes back. I guess declares probably going to what? Yeah, they just decide to play safe for their contract. Ace of clubs, club. I mean, I wonder if they dumped the 9 of clubs. Like, technically, they probably should have. I guess it doesn't matter with the 2 entries to West hand. Well, you don't have 2 entries to West hand because East is out of diamonds, but yeah, maybe the technical play is to dump the 9 of clubs under the ace so that you can pick off a king 10 fourth with South. All right, 2-0 making 2, flat board a match win. Is board 12 the 7-6 hand, or was it board 13? I think it was board 12, right? This will be useful information for me, though. Okay, I guess it was board 13. Having not played with sponsors in a long time, I don't really remember how to handle these big shapely hands. My only experience seeing a pro do this in recent memory is when I was playing against Shan, when he was playing with the sponsor at a regional a couple years back, and he just opened a spade and rebid 6 diamonds, which we kind of saw at the other table as well. So we might see a similar thing from Joel here. And like, it's okay to miss a grand if you're playing with a sponsor, right? Like, you're not going to have some sort of intricate Q-bidding auction to find your way to these slams. Matt says, wait, there is VuGraph on BBO. Are we boycotting BBO? I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't boycott BBO, but would you prefer to see that? I imagine the seniors is on BBO. They gave you a year free. I got a year free as well. I think it's just a bribe for me. Oh, speaking of, I probably need to shut down my tournament. I just don't want people to accidentally get charged for playing in a free event that I've been hosting. It's kind of strange that I got a free year. I really do look at it as a bribe because I don't play on BBO like at all. So bribe proportional to how good you are at bridge. I don't think that's it either. I think they just are trying to appease me to make me take down my video that I made about them. Yeah, so we had talked about like the splinter at the other table maybe wanting to be some sort of very specific hand type. Here, Edmonds looked at her hand and was just like, I have Trump support, so I'm going to Q-bid. You know, maybe didn't consider the splinter, maybe didn't look further than a 3 club bid to show the heart support. But they do get to 4 hearts. We'll see what Joel does. East is going to lead the ace of clubs once again. And then I guess the question from there is going to be, what does East do next? We'll see if Joel's able to come up with a plan on this deal. He might just have the same plan. Like if it goes ace of clubs, diamond switch, he might also just go ace king of hearts. I mean, I guess that's a good point, Eric. It could be related to how much money you've already put into the BBO site. Like, I mean, I never paid for a subscription to BBO, like BBO Prime or whatever it was called. But I have been playing some of these speedballs on stream. So maybe because I paid for a couple of tournaments, that did it. Okay. Club. I want to see what Joel does here after club. Because I think there's a really interesting option, and that is to cash the ace of hearts and then play 3 rounds of diamonds. And I don't know if he's going to take this line of play. So there's the ace of hearts. No one can hear this cricket chirping in the background. I still have crickets. I just have no idea where they are. Yeah, Joel is deep in the tank after the Ace of Hearts cashes. Because I think he wants to play heart to the jack. If that was what he needed to do to make the contract by picking up the trump suit, he would probably do that. But we can be a little bit safer about it if we strip out East diamonds first. Like, if we can play 3 rounds of diamonds and East shows out, well, now we play heart to the jack in confidence. But even if East roughs in this case, East is going to be then end played into leading a black suit. So I think that this is a really interesting decision point. And yeah, I like that Joel noticed and is considering it. I mean, they didn't have this option at the other table because the defense wasn't 2 rounds of clubs. Okay. So this is another interesting possibility. Joel decides to take a spade finesse. Now up with the diamond ace. He still has some decisions to make. I think he's probably going to play heart to the jack. Okay. He plays a spade to the ace. He's going to lead another diamond now. Yeah. This is... I think he's going to lead another diamond now. He's thinking. Just trying to work out exactly what's going on in the hand. I like this line of play too. All right. Looks like Joel got enough information. He felt like he got a good enough count on the opponent's shapes that he could just pull a second round of trumps. Diamond split. Gonna be the same 11 tricks that they made in the other room. But... Wait, BBO is also showing the mixed? I would have expected the seniors to be the bigger event, or the more prestigious event among these two. I don't know if that's actually true, but that would have been my suspicion going into it. Because a lot of mixed partnerships just are relatively inexperienced playing with each other. But okay, that's interesting. Mixed does have a lot of really good players, like on both sides, for both the male and female sides, but like most of them are not going to be playing with each other all that often, is generally the case. Was this the hand someone opened 2 clubs? No. This was the hand that we were talking about people opening 2 clubs. And again, I mean, like, I think it is certainly losing bridge to open 2 clubs on these 2 suited hands. But a lot of people believe in it because they have this... I don't know if it's a mental blocker, but like that your partner can't have a good hand if they open at the 1 level. It's like partner's not allowed to because 2 clubs covers every hand type that has a certain number of losers or less. And so they're kind of just forced by this this system choice that they themselves have enforced, that they have to open 2 clubs with this hand because otherwise their partner is never going to believe they have a hand with this few losers. I wonder if these are the players who tend to bid based on cover cards in a lot of scenarios, which I think is a relatively unpopular treatment, but I would be curious to know if that's the rationale for people opening 2 clubs on these types of hands, or if it really is just like, my hand is super powerful, so I'm opening 2 clubs. Yeah, a spade, 2 heart overcall, 3 no trump from south, has a heart stopper. What does 3 know? It's to play. mean, 12 partner opened. We have an opening hand. We have a stopper in the opponent's suit. What else should we do? They made a negative double at the other table over 2 hearts. Yeah, I mean, I think 3-no is fine. So Joel does decide to try and have an auction with partner. He bids 4 diamonds. I mean, Joel and Jody have been playing together for a while at this point. So Joel might be a little bit more comfortable taking a slower approach with this type of hand rather than just blasting 6 diamonds. I mean, 4 diamonds is definitely the bid I would like to make on the North cards. Yeah, this is a tricky spot now for North. So what is Joel going to do? Good meta rule is pulling 3-no to 4 of a minor is always forcing. I mean, like, obviously. Yeah, I think 4 diamonds is obviously forcing. And slamish, importantly. I mean, well, I would say that there's an implication that you have slam interest when you bid 4 diamonds, but I guess you could just be like 6-6. Is 4-no over 4 minor not to play? I would expect so, yeah. If South had bid 4-no over 4 diamonds, I would expect that to be natural and to play. Now, I don't know if Jody would play it that way. Jody might think 4-no trump is keycard for diamonds, which it could be. Joel is trying to bid exclusion in clubs. That's what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's going to be successful. I mean, he might just be doing this because this is a Q-bid, and South is now going to Q-bid diamonds in response. And Joel... So I think what Joel's doing is Joel is using 5 clubs to see if he can make a slam. I don't think he's concerned about a grand, but like... This is going to give his partner room to Q-bid 5 diamonds with a diamond control, and now he can bid a slam. And I guess the slam he's going to bid will be... This is tricky. Because I think if we got to this point with an expert partner, and 5 clubs is, not exclusion, and it was just a Q-bid, North could bid 5-no, pick a slam, which would probably be the choice. But I don't think we want to do that with a sponsor. So I think Joel could either bid 6 diamonds or 6 spades to give the option. And he does bid 6 spades. So East does very well to pass. I mean, we saw them pass 6 diamonds in the other room as well. That auction was a lot faster, so he's probably knew the ace of hearts wasn't cashing. But yeah, I mean, a lot of players just get so excited. They have a couple of aces against a slam, and they're like, I double. I'm going to cash my 2 aces, and then we're going to beat this thing. But not here. It would have been very expensive to go after 6 spades. I mean, not because I think North would redouble. Maybe he would, but 6 spades doubled with the overtrick would be huge. Diamond leads spade hook. Yeah. Diamond leads spade hook. Good one. All right, Queen of Spades pops up. So this is just going to be all 13 tricks once again. And that's going to be 2 imps going the way of Edmonds. It's only 1860 for 6 spades doubled with the overtrick. Yes. Only 1860. I mean, that's still an enormous number of imps versus 6 diamonds making. We do have a round timer here. 2 minutes counting down. 9 imps? I think it's 10 imps. Last board. So East-West got to 4 hearts in the other room. This is probably not going to offer too many imps in terms of a swing. 370, 420, but isn't it 450? Can I not math? 1860 and what was it? 1390? Oh, so it's 470. Right. It's even more than I mathed. Yeah, it sounds like 10 to me. East open, no trump. We'll see. Is West going to transfer and bid 3? No. Is West going to go through Stayman? West just transfers and bids 3 now. 6 spades doubled plus 1 is against 1460. But the other table was in 6 diamonds. I'm talking about the actual result on this hand. It doesn't matter. 9 imps or 10 would I don't know why we're still talking about this. It's a lot of imps. What is this? Is this forcing Stayman? Wait, what the hell is this? What just happened? What was the alert? What? Imagine director call after seeing this dummy. They ended up somewhere reasonable, but I don't think they found a heart fit. I don't think they found a heart fit at all. Maybe that was the point. Maybe West actually, this could look like a regular Stayman sequence. 1 no, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 3 no. And West decided not to show their 5-card heart suit. I think it's like not that unreasonable. My experience is you just show the 5-card suit, but that tends to work out better in the long run. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to. Yeah, South should not be taking the Ace of Hearts. I mean, this was going to go down if South led their Doubleton Club, not that South would ever find the Doubleton Club lead, right? But I don't know, maybe it wouldn't. I suppose Declare could hold up a round of clubs, but that's kind of a hard thing to do. Yeah, Jody does find a club switch eventually, but it's too late. East can just cash the Jack of Hearts, take a spade hook, now that the 9 of clubs is a stopper. Will eventually make plenty of tricks. So Edmonds takes a big win. First segment. I think we're coming down to what, 32 teams? Thanks for stopping by, Zavilian. We'll take a brief look at the standings, but then I do have to run Open's going down to 64, yeah, but I don't know how many we're cutting down to for these, we'll call it side events, but I mean still main feature events. Because I think these run for less time than the Open. So that's why I'm thinking we're probably cutting down to like 32. Is there a tier list? I did not have time to do a tier list. There are so many teams in this thing, and I think it's hard to identify which ones belong or which players belong to which team. So it might not have been a very exciting tier list anyway. Just like a Brady Bots top 10. Sorry, I really have not had time to do much for the thing. We'll probably end up taking a closer look at the teams maybe on Saturday, because Saturday I'm hopefully going to have time to stream all 4 segments, and then we'll be able to figure out who's on which team. All right, 3 no Trump making 4. Another border match win for the Chinese, but no imps swinging. So, thank you, Matt. Mixed is 2-day qualifying, then round of 32. I'm guessing the seniors is probably going to be very similar. So I bet the qualifying is probably like Swiss style. Let's head back. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Oh my God, there are quite a few blitzes that have happened already. 40 or 20 nothing. Mixed nuts. Oh my. We have the Gittleman team with a bunch of the Americans, Uday and Crystal, Fred playing with Sherry, and Billy playing with Bronya. So I guess a lot of life partners playing together on that team, and they're off to a good start. Ahead by 69 imps on their set. That's huge. SV Bridge Club looks like some Slovak, maybe, is what we're thinking for a lot of these players. Time penalty. Luke. Oh my God, it's Luke. 4-handed here. Playing. They got a blitz. Polish? Okay, Polish. Thank you. Yeah, I guess I should have known from all of the Z's. The Z is a classic Polish term. BV Waldsums. Anyway, there's a bunch of teams that have done quite well. It's only the first match. So we have Cole up here, a relatively well-known sponsored team. Oh, my boy, Joe is up here playing on Minotaur. That looks like a very strong team for the event. So 5 relatively strong pros for the mixed. Cole up there. Adam Kaplan is playing on a team. I mean, I assume this is sponsored, but not sure. Lots of Americans here. Olivia Shearson, Zach Grossack. The dream team. I like how in a lot of these events, you're able to create your own team name. You don't have to use someone's last name as your team. So I think it is fun having people create their own team names. Although I would appreciate a little bit more originality than just dream team. But I mean, at least they're trying. Anyway, Dinkin got a big win. Why does the ACBL not allow that? Because creating your own team names is fun. And the ACBL stands for Absolutely Not Fun Bridge League. That we just spell it differently in the US. Not fun starts with a C. Yeah. Anyway, lots of teams in this event. I think there's like 100 or so, 99 teams in the event. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, team. Uh-oh. The boys. And by the boys, I mean like we have one boys on the team. But a bunch of fan favorites, I think, are down here. They had a bad first round. They'll bounce back, I'm sure. They'll qualify for the round of 32. Plenty of time to make that up. But anyway. So I have to head off. I have a lesson to do. Well, something like that. Some sort of lesson type thing that I'm doing with my sponsor for the upcoming event. But I will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow, again, I'm going to have to take off the second set. But I should be back then for the third and fourth segments tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back midway through the second set tomorrow. But today, I have a lesson. I have a doctor's appointment. I have a Zoom call that I have to do later today. And these are all overlapping, like all of the sets for the rest of the day. So this was a good intro, warm up, get me back into doing some commentary on this thing. Maybe we'll jump around from BBO, Love Bridge, and so on, depending on where we think the more fun or interesting matches are going to be for this. But looking forward to seeing a lot of the open teams that are going to be starting up in about a week. I think about a week. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. We will be around for the next couple of weeks doing coverage of this thing. So thanks for hanging out. Take care, everyone. And I will see you all again tomorrow, bright and early. I'll be starting up around the same time. So take care.